Frank Lloyd Wright built his first house in 1889 when he was just 22 years old. He chose the leafy suburb of Oak Park in Chicago as the place to make his mark, a home for himself and his new wife Kitty, and what would eventually be a family of 6 children. Wright was working as chief draftsman in a studio in Chicago when the house was built. By the time he was 26, he had an architectural practice of his own.
Mr. Wright was just beginning his career at that time when he moved to Chicago, and so he used this home as an experimental laboratory where he would try out ideas and develop his architectural style. Well, standing in this space in the living room, when you can see the front door. You come in the front door. It's a very wide, open front door with art glass on it, so you can see directly in. The doorway is very wide. There are no doors on it that close off the spaces, and you can look all the way through into the dining room. And also in the living room here, you can see how he opened up the space with diamond pane leaded glass windows. It lets a lot of light in. It lets nature indoors, and it's very different from the Victorian styles of the time.
Wright was clearly reaching towards a new concept in his own home. But it was when he began to build for local clients that his ideas really took off. These prairie houses, as Wright called them, date from the same period as their neighbors, when there were still horse-drawn carriages in the streets. But they are even more modern on the inside. By dispensing with dividing walls, Wright created a dramatic sense of light and space. He called it breaking the box.
In his autobiography, he describes exactly what he thinks people should do with the house. It should no longer be a straight-sided, tight, enclosed volume with everything vertical. It should be long, low, horizontal, with the rooms melting away so that your living room and dining room and study would flow into each other, and everything would be focused around this great hearth, this great fireplace. It not only broke the box, which was his words, it simply broke with the past completely and set a standard and a pattern that has influenced everything since.
You know, great architecture is about affect. How does it affect your innards? It's an emotional experience. It's like music. It is, as Wright kept quoting Goethe, it's frozen music. You know, you're not supposed to look at it in an uninterested way. You're supposed to be bowled over by it, and that's universal. We all are. You can't not respond. Anyone who doesn't respond to a Wright building is not experiencing through the senses, the 5 senses, sight above all, but hearing, smell, taste, touch. The works, you know, it's full of that human response.